boy. How's my boy? Lizard-man. 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 Hey, boo-boo. Hi. Hi. Hey, good morning. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. This is Tiffany, 100 Plus Abandoned Dogs in Everglades, Florida. I am here with Mario. We are in the car on our way to Southeast Veterinary Neurology, where Mario will be getting his 60th Cytosar infusion treatment today. Number 60. We had no idea he'd be here this long. No idea. We were told when he had his diagnosis we'd be lucky if we got 2 years. We are at 3.5. Yeah, 3.5 this month. So we are beyond ecstatic that he is still with us. I am beyond ecstatic that he is still with us. And these treatments are the reason that he is still with us. So he's on his way up. If you did catch his previous 2 videos, we have changed the way that we do the treatment for him. There has been 0 slipping, 0 regression or relapse with changing the way that we do the treatment. So we are going to continue on that course until we see that, you know, he's deteriorating or any other signs that it's not as efficient as the way he's been having it done. So instead of the actual infusion where he gets hooked up to an IV catheter and they drip it directly into his bloodstream very slowly over an 8-hour period of time, instead of doing that, we stopped doing it that way because it was causing major issues with his veins. He was developing a ton of scar tissue in his front 2 legs because they would switch back and forth from one to the other at every treatment. And the doctors there said, look, God forbid something really bad happens to him where he needs to be hospitalized and they need to get an IV catheter in him quick. It's gonna, if we continue on this route, we could blow his veins, and there could just be so much scar tissue that they can't get IVs in. So that was the driving factor in switching the way that we do it. They told me about this new way, which must be fairly new. It was not an option when he was diagnosed. There was only 3 options: 24-hour infusion, the 8-hour infusion, and then a series of 2 just shots where you'd have to go back to the hospital. So this is a different way. It is a much less invasive way. Oh my God. Yeah, don't pay attention, asshole. Sorry. Sorry guys, I was getting on the turnpike and instead of yielding, this person came flying around the corner at 65 and almost took the whole right side of my car off. And then decided to flick me off. Sorry about that. So again, going back to what I was saying, happy Friday. Instead of doing the very invasive surgery, not surgery, treatment, where, well, it's not invasive. I'm sorry, I'm a little frazzled. Instead of doing the infusion treatment the way that we've been doing it, where it is damaging his veins and causing a lot of scar tissue in his front legs, we decided to switch it up. The last time and the time before that is when we started it. He is now getting his Cytosar, same drug, same dosage, but he is now getting it subcutaneously. So if you've ever had your dog or your cat to the vet and they were dehydrated, and instead of hospitalizing them, they said, we can give them some sub-Q fluids, and they end up with that big bubble of fluid on their back, like in between their shoulder blade area, because they do it there, and then the body absorbs the fluids slowly over time. Same concept. And the way that they do it is they give him sub-Q, the Cytosar, in 4 rounds. So they do 1 dose of sub-Q with the Cytosar, they wait an hour or 2, make sure everything is okay, then they do a 2nd dose, then they wait, then they do a 3rd dose, then they wait, and then they do the 4th dose. Hey, excuse me, nosy. Misser. Misser? Hey. Excuse me. So they do 4 doses subcutaneously of the Cytosar. So it is much less invasive for him. It's much less stressful on him. He doesn't have to be hooked up to anything in the cage for 8 hours. It's just much easier on him, which is fantastic in my opinion. It also ends up being a much shorter day for him. The first time I dropped him off at 8:30. They called me at 2 o'clock and said he'd be ready at 4:15. So that's much easier on him. I used to drop him off at 7 a.m. and not be able to go pick him up till 6:30, 7, sometimes 8 o'clock at night, depending on how long it took them to get the IVs in and get him started. And then he was exhausted by the end of the day because it was a very long day for him. This is much easier. He gets to sleep in the morning, he gets to have his breakfast, go for his nice long walk, and then I drop him off. They start him right away. It's super easy for him. The day goes really quick, and then I get to go pick him up. He's not licking at his paws because he's had IVs or anything like that. I take him home, he has his dinner, and he's great. And like I said, the next day he's perfect. He hasn't had any relapse whatsoever doing it this way. So this is the way we're going to continue to do it until it doesn't work anymore, until we see some changes in him that we don't like. So he is on his way. We are going to do number 60 today. And yeah, misters. We are at the 3.5 year mark with him. We were told we'd be lucky to get 2, so this week actually would be exactly 3.5 months. So needless to say, we're thrilled. And the reason that he is still here is because of this treatment. It is because of all your love and your support. already, when they come from a good line, have a myriad of health issues and problems. And then you start breeding them for greedy reasons and for money and for specialty ones and this and that, and you're taking all the worst parts of them and putting them into a dog, and then that's what happens. You have Frenchies that have cleft palates and breathing issues and chronic skin issues and chronic eye issues, and several of them have back and disc issues where they have IVDD. They're like the #1 breed for that, and that comes from all the breeding. And now I've learned more than ever from Mario and from being at the neurologist. Not only is back issue a major issue for Frenchies, and they're having to have all these spinal surgeries, and but neurologic issues. Frenchies are a huge breed for neurologic issues too. So it's really sad that he unfortunately is a product of that and got dealt this terrible hand of having a terminal autoimmune neurologic disease. But us being able to get him the treatment that he needed and start him right away and keep him on it has kept him here for 3.5 years, when he would most likely be dead if he did not come to us. It has kept him here. It has kept him happy. And I can tell you, for anybody who's worried that we're doing the wrong thing by him by having these treatments done, he is fine after he has them done. He might be a little tired because it's a long day for him, but he's fine. He goes home, he has his dinner, he snuggles, he plays with his brothers, and he's up the next day and he's totally fine. We would not put him through anything that caused him harm or major discomfort or caused him to be sick. This dog has no idea that he is sick. He is like a tank. He will push his foster brother Cloud right out of the water hole. He will run full speed head first and knock him right out of the water bowl so that he can have water. He will steal the bones right out of Cloud and Mario's mouths when they're chewing on them, even though there's one right next to him. He is a silly, happy, goofy, fun-loving, sweet, snuggly, affectionate, just happy little guy. And the only reason he is still here to enjoy all of that is because of you guys. So thank you so very much for, again, all your continued love and support of him. For every time I ask for a donation, every time we have to take him up here to do these treatments to keep him happy and here and alive and with us for as long as possible, you guys step up and you donate. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. So, with that being said, I do have to ask again, because we are on our way. I do have the donate button on this video. If you would like to make a donation for his treatment today, the button is there on this video, as well as in the verbiage, all of the links. If you don't like to donate straight through Facebook, if you prefer to donate through PayPal or Venmo or Cash App or Zelle, all of those links are in the verbiage of this video. Also, our mailing address, if you are one of those people that still likes to do paper checks, our mailing address is on this video as well. So, with that, I am going to say thank you again so very much. We are getting ready to get off our exit. Right, missers? Say thank you. Say thank you. We're getting ready to get off our exit so I can get him to the neurologist and get him in there and get him started. I will update you guys when I pick him up later today. all of you who continue to love and support this little guy as much as I do. We honestly could not do this without you.